Greetings from Shadow Band land. I am currently EMF to bits. If you are unaware that EMFs cause harm, let me provide a bit of information for you here. Obviously, this is our website and you can search it. Just one moment here. Let's see. There we go. This documents the last time I left our property. And this would have been in June of 2019, the last time I left our property. And that was when I went to the allergist who once was awesome, and then he got bought by industry. It was an absolutely shocking event, and he refused suddenly to acknowledge any research. It was really something. Okay, so obviously I have been sounding the alarm on natural rubber latex. The toxicity, this specific article here was, as you can see, posted in 2021, but I've been sounding the alarm on natural rubber latex since 2012, and that was when everything came crashing down in our world, in our lives, and that's part of this book here. But that account can also be found on our website as well. How a latex mattress wrecked my life. I have, like I said, I've been sounding the alarm on this since 2012. If you go to our YouTube channel, I know YouTube, okay, but if you go to our website, you can get to YouTube, and my husband ended up shaving my hair off. After I went to Mayo Clinic, I came home from Mayo Clinic, and they sent me home to die. And that happened to me over and over and over the years. Here's another. Whoops, sorry about that. How am I still alive? Here's another very relevant article. Holding on to hope. Okay, if you also are done with doctors, if your doctors has sent you home to die, here's how I held on to hope. Okay, so this is a very serious topic, and if you're wondering why I seem to be the only person out there sounding the alarm on this topic, that is because natural rubber latex is present in over 40,000 products. And that was as of 2013. Okay, that was 13 years ago that the research said that. So today, can you think of any base material that is in over 40,000 products? I don't know. Maybe corn? I don't know. How many products is corn in? Okay. Well, never mind that. Never mind that. Corn is in a lot of products. The natural rubber latex industry obviously is powerful. So, of course, my content is shadow banned everywhere. Of course, this information is hard to find. Now, it used to be very easy to find this information. If you're following someone in the so-called natural health sphere, and they were posting information online prior to 2020, they should know that natural rubber latex is toxic. I have reached out to so many different mommy bloggers, and they know the truth. Many of them have acknowledged the truth, but they want money. They just want your money. They want to sell you that natural rubber latex mattress. They want you to buy their toxic crap. All they care about is money and saving face. If you are an adult, when you obtain new information that conflicts with your beliefs, you shouldn't engage in cognitive dissonance. You should research it. You should question it and say, maybe I was wrong. Could I have possibly been wrong? Maybe I trusted the experts all of my life. And then I turned 30 and my life came crashing down around me. Like here. 30 years. I trusted the experts. I was diagnosed with a freaking latex allergy. I went to Mayo Clinic because I was living in the freaking bathroom and they sent me home to die. Mayo Clinic, which is a technocracy, by the way. Medical technocracy there. And that was years ago. That was 2012 that I went to Mayo Clinic. Yes, I'm being very serious about this. I'm being very emphatic in my wording and in the way that I am speaking, because this is serious. And I need to communicate to you how important it is for you, if you want to protect your children and yourself, that you understand what you are exposing yourself to when it comes to natural rubber. Especially if there are any food allergies, hay fever, any sort of sensitivity or allergy whatsoever, you are astronomically more likely to develop a latex allergy. And once you are sensitized to one of the hundreds or more of proteins, we don't know how many, it gets worse and worse and worse with every exposure. Natural rubber latex is a sensitizing toxicant. It's toxic and it's sensitizing. It's not just a toxic chemical. It's not just a toxic thing, like so many other things that a lot of the mommy bloggers in the so-called natural health sphere are very aware of, and they want you to know about these, and it's so serious and blah, 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 blah. But they will not broach this topic. This is important. I think I've communicated that with you. Okay. Natural rubber latex starts out as a sensitizing agent. The sap in and of itself is toxic. Now, the latex rubber sap comes from only one species of tree, Hevea brasiliensis, which I probably just completely butchered. I don't know how to speak Latin. I don't care. But the problem is, when it comes to diagnosis, only 5 to 7 proteins are tested for in a latex test. That's typically going to be a blood test, typically an ELISA or a RAST test. But you've got hundreds of proteins, so many that we haven't even identified them all. So if you're testing for something, but you don't have the something to test for, then how is that test accurate? Well, it's not. Gee, does it sound like something else to you? In recent years, that according to the CDC, they didn't have any isolates. What could that possibly be? Gee, do you know what I'm talking about? Always remember, the experts have a track record of lying to us. Okay, so latex starts out toxic. This is a milky white sap. It's caustic, it's toxic. And I mean, here, even on the National Institute of Health says that the latex is toxic. Okay, so it's the sap itself starts out as toxic. And then what happens is that in order to get the sap from the plantation to the manufacturing plant, chemicals have to be added. This is one of the primary sticking points of natural rubber latex. Sticking points, it's sticky, of natural rubber latex. It's typically thiorams that are added in order to preserve it from the plantation to the manufacturing facility. And those thiorams, they don't just disappear. They don't just wash away because they're blended in with the sap. They become part of the sap. Now, what specific chemicals do they turn into? Hasn't really been researched a lot. And the toxicity of thiorams isn't really even of question these days. Now, if you go to Google and search about what's added in natural rubber latex and processing, it focuses on ammonia, because people think, oh, urine, ammonia, it can't be that bad. Okay, well, have you ever known anything about anhydrous ammonia that's put on fields, crops? You're supposed to get your kids and your animals inside when that is applied outside, because it is so caustic and toxic. So do you really want to be sleeping on anhydrous ammonia? I know that's a different type of ammonia than what's added here, but it's still relevant here. There are different types of ammonia that are added at different points. But if you go to Google, the natural rubber latex industry wants you to believe the only thing that's added really is ammonia. That is categorically untrue, and it is an absolute lie. Please don't rely on AI anything for information, because number one, it lies. Okay, that's been in mainstream media. Number two, it is designed to operate with confirmation bias. In other words, it's designed to tell you what you want to hear. It's designed to make you feel good about yourself. And it's designed basically to be your friend. It's not your friend. It's your enemy. It's my enemy anyways, because it's full of lies. It's all about industry. And if the industry wants you to believe a certain thing, then that's what AI is going to tell you. Okay. Thiorams are added. I don't care if it's Talele. I don't care if it's Dunlop. There's this false dichotomy. It's like pro, anti, everything we got to have in this stupid world in regards to natural rubber latex. And, you got companies saying, oh, Talele's the best. Oh, Dunlop's the best. It doesn't matter. They all have toxic chemicals added to them. If you are sitting there saying, oh, well, it's organic. It's organic. You need to, one of these is a video, I don't remember which one, and the other one is an article. You need to listen to the video and read the article, because certification is not what you think. Certification is just another arm of the industry. Do not trust certification of anything. Okay? I'm not going to go through every single point of everything I've ever gone through, or we will be here for weeks and I will run out of air. And also I will stink. I need a bath at some point. Okay, so thiorams are typically what are added in order to keep the latex sap from spoiling between the plantation and the manufacturing facility. Now here, this isn't even correct. What year is this? 2017. It's talking about the thiorams functioning as accelerators. And yeah, sure. But they're typically added at the plantation level. They may as well be added at the processing facility for all I know. There's only so much information that we have access to. But here, even the stupid AI overview using this information over here tells you that chemicals are added to it. So here, but you have to figure out what to search for in order to get the information. Like if you put in is latex toxic, it'll be like, no, it's totally cool. Everything's fine. Don't ask any questions. Shut up. But here, okay, well, give me a list of the chemicals added, because I know there are freaking chemicals added, you stupid Google AI. See? Oh, well, yeah, actually chemicals are added. Yeah, even though all the other searches you put in, we said it was cool. Yeah, chemicals are added, yeah, to preserve it, stabilize it, and vulcanize it. Ammonia, zinc oxide, tetramethylthioram disulfide, thioram, a bactericide, amino alcohols, chelating agents, biocides, sulfur, peroxides, sulfur donors, dithiocarbamates, thiazoles, sulfonamides, guanidines, potassium or sodium laurate, non-ionic surfactants, casein, ammonium salts of alkyl phosphates, carbon black. I hate carbon black. Don't even get me started on carbon black. Calcium carbonate or whiting, Clay, not concerned about clay, but or hydrated alumina talc. Remember all those? Remember what baby powder used to be safe? Yeah. Silicone emulsion. Silicone is not concerning to me. Stearic acid, wing stay L, phenolic antioxidants, aromatic amine antioxidants, defoamers, thickeners, pigments like titanium dioxide, which a lot of people avoid intentionally. Gelling agents like sodium or potassium, silica fluoride. One of my sources here has about I can't even think. I can't even think of the word. We'll come across it later. But oxalic acid or sodium metabosulfite to reduce color, bleaching agents. So even AI, if you know what to search for, will eventually tell you the truth. But you have to know what to search for. That's the thing. Just like if you put a certain word into Google, you'll get all sorts of things that's saying it's theoretical. But if, golly gee, if you put this says it's proposed. If you put stratospheric aerosol injection in, oh, look, there are studies. There used to be quite a bit of research from Purdue. Here we go. This is from 2025. Perchlorate in stratospheric aerosol particles. Researchers at Purdue University. Nettles from spacecraft reentry and stratospheric aerosol injection. All right, you just have to know what to look for. You have to know how to search for it. That's the thing. Because things are hidden from us. Hold on. Just 1 second. Fair use. This is clearly for educational, teaching, scholarship, research purposes. There is no infringement intended because this is clearly educational use, and this tips the balance in favor of fair use, just to be clear here. What should we look at now? How about this page? Adhesives for packaging. Adhesives. Natural rubber latex is in a lot of adhesives, and our home specifically was designed to avoid adhesives. The exceptions are the flex wrap, which is butyl rubber based, and the what's it called? The house wrap tape, which is the Tyvek tape, which also, I don't recall specifically the adhesive basis, but it's natural rubber latex free. And I do still use personally those two products, Flex Wrap and Tyvek tape, as far as adhesive tape goes. Let's see what. Oh, here we go. Formula. No, that's something else. There's something else I wanted to point out here on this page. Oh, here it is. Actually, I opened that up. Durability improvement of cement stabilized pavement base using natural rubber latex. Consider all of the pavement in the world. A lot of it contains natural rubber latex. Just that in and of itself, think of how much money goes into that. All right, so if you react to new pavement or new cement outside, that could be part of the problem. I do have an article on concrete. here that is relevant to anyone interested in health. Let's see. Here. Anticoagulants like sodium sulfate, ammonia, and formaldehyde. That's what I was trying to think of earlier. Formaldehyde. A lot of people have concerns about formaldehyde, which are valid. Natural rubber latex. Formaldehyde is added to some natural rubber latex for short-term preservation to prevent coagulation. So this here is talking about getting it from the plantation to the manufacturing facility. Okay. All right. Let's see, what do we have here? Chemical changes in rubber allergens during vulcanization. Accelerants such as thiorams, dithiocarbamates, and that's a long word, mercaptobenzothiazoles are often among the additives responsible for allergic reactions recognized by dermatologists. The chemistry of the vulcanization process is complicated. As it occurs at an elevated temperature with a mixture of reactive chemicals, the compositions of the initial and final products differ. Okay, so this is very, very important. The latex sap that comes out of the tree is one thing. The final product that you hold in your hand is completely different. Not completely different, but it is different. It doesn't have the same composition. It drives me insane that there are so many people peddling products that are sensitizing and known to be toxic. And they will acknowledge privately the harm caused and the risk involved while telling fellow parents to use natural rubber latex pacifiers and diapers with natural rubber in it and all of these other things that sensitize their babies who already have a poor chance at life. Let's just, look at the world we're living in. It's incredibly toxic. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. All right. Also, the thiorams, see, this is one of the issues, is that we really don't know what the final products are because there are so many different things that are added to the natural rubber latex at every step in the manufacturing process, for one. But we don't understand what the impact is of the chemicals when they're all together. So that's just like in your body. In your body, there are chemicals, okay? If you've been born in the past 100 years, and you were born with chemicals in your body. So we don't know how things interact cohesively. Here we have yet another article from plasticsengineering.org about the natural rubber industry. Historically, researchers used ammonia, tetramethylthioram disulfide, and zinc oxide to prevent coagulation and bacterial decomposition upon contact with air. But these chemicals have adverse effects on both the environment and the health of workers in rubber plantations and industries. These don't simply just disappear during processing. Here is a list from trcc.com, whatever that is, of latex additives. Sulfur, various types of zinc, T200, octogart, here's flame retardants. Do you want to sleep on flame retardants? Antioxidants, various emulsions and dispersions, look at these chemical names. Do you really think that these are healthy products? I mean, does this really look like something that is natural to you? These are all things that can be in what you are sleeping on, what you are giving your baby to put in your baby's mouth. These are all in diapers. I mean, in balloons, in latex gloves, in elastic, in rugs. I mean, in a vast variety of building materials. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on, obviously, because there are over 40,000 products. Let me look. Let me show you here. Products. That's not it. There it is. What products contain latex? Okay, that has a very extensive list there. Let's go ahead and look here. Come on, load. The internet. This was updated in 2021, so it's been a while. But do you see this list? The list just goes on and 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 on. All right, my honey came in because it's 2 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit outside, and he's been using the snowblower outside. He was gassy, so my brain is a little bit sucky right now. So we'll see how much longer I last at this. Okay, so thiorams in regards to natural rubber latex. This is a 2017 article. Typically, if you're looking at research studies, which I don't actually recommend, you want to definitely go before 2020. Is this what I'm thinking? That is not what I'm thinking of. Let me find my last post. As of this video, my last post in the How to Research Everything series. I have some old videos in that series which I may or may not post. I mean old videos as in I recorded them, I don't know, 5 years ago. Maybe. Let's see here if I can find that video. There. When science isn't science, evaluating studies. I actually have experience in research methodology, and one of my favorite things to do in college was to tear studies apart, just rip them to shreds. And that, I mean, seriously, that was one of my favorite things to do. So if you're looking at studies, there's a lot of things you need to know. In that regards, I touch on some of the things here. So, and I'm not saying that this is an amazing study. I'm just saying that this is one study that's out there. But it's no surprise that so many people who have a latex allergy end up with chemical sensitivity and vice versa, because there are so many toxic chemicals in natural rubber that are sensitizing, and then the natural rubber itself is sensitizing, and then you have the people who are definitely chemically sensitive, but as far as they are aware, they don't have a problem with natural rubber, but the chemicals across the board are basically the same. So it's no surprise that you have people from both communities just intermixing basically. Just because you are chemically sensitive doesn't mean you're not latex sensitive, and vice versa, or that you won't become so. In fact, it's quite likely that you already are sensitive to some natural rubber, but you just don't know it. Because here's the thing, because there are hundreds of proteins, if not more, you can react to one product made with natural rubber and not react to 500 other items made of natural rubber. So you might react to this one rubber band from this one company, but other rubber bands you might be fine with. And you might be fine with balloons and condoms and all of these other things. But if you're sensitized to one natural rubber latex protein, the likelihood is you will continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, because it's a sensitizing process. And you start out with it's called type 4, which is a contact allergy. And it just progresses and progresses and progresses until you hit type 1, and overnight a switch flips, bam, and you are airborne. And you walk downstairs from your bedroom, walk across your house into the kitchen, and you fall down on your floor to a banana across the room. Yeah. That is the sort of dramatic shift that happens. And it's not a matter of if it will happen once you are sensitized to a natural rubber protein. It's a matter of when it will happen. All right, so here, this study discusses about the accelerators, thyrams, in the vulcanization of rubber, which cause allergic contact dermatitis. Now, of course, the natural rubber latex sap in and of itself, as we've already established, is a sensitizing agent inherently. But as early as the 1920s, there were reports of this issue. Okay, so this isn't a new problem. This was 1933. I would trust a study from 1933 over a study from today any day of the week. And then in the 30s, you have the agricultural industry starting to use thiram-based chemicals as germicides and fungicides. It's farmland, lawns, golf courses, landscaping, florists, gardeners. And then it wasn't until the 1990s when people really started realizing that natural rubber latex was indeed an issue. And personally, in retrospect, I can go back to age 8, if not earlier, when I first started exhibiting symptoms of a latex allergy. This is surprising. I didn't notice this before. In 2001, it was estimated that 33%, so 1/3 of healthcare workers suffered from thiram-related hand dermatitis. This is, placing the blame to thiram rather than natural rubber, but come on, I mean, when thiram is in natural rubber latex, do we really need to differentiate between the two? All right, but here, this is incorrect, because they're suggesting that there are 240 proteins in natural rubber latex, and that's it. We're done. But other studies are very clear. We don't know how many there are. It's treated with ammonia, other preservatives after it is harvested to prevent its deterioration during its mass transport to factories worldwide. I'm not making this crap up. It's right here. This is the National Institute of Health. Antioxidants and accelerators are later added to further the organic chemical compounding, and then they use mechanical forces, which doesn't matter. And then, there are accelerators like thyrams, again, to speed up vulcanization. Here we go, about vehicle tires. I know that there are a few people who years ago contacted me and said, hey, my Uncle Joe or my dad Bob works for a tire factory, and he says that his tire is really latex-free. Okay, good for him. However, I've contacted all of the major manufacturers, and I have not identified any vehicle tires that are free of natural rubber latex. if you just ask, is something latex free? You're going to get the answer from the customer service agent or middle management of Dow or whomever. You're going to get the answer that they think you want to hear. Just like AI. How to ask. Now, I don't actually follow this process in entirety anymore because of the struggles inherent in just getting a company to respond at all, period. But I used to contact 3 times. But you got to be the expert. You have to know more about the product you're asking about than the customer service representative or the inventor or the owner of the company. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Isn't this all exhausting? Yeah. Okay, so you have to know the different terms for natural rubber. Here we go. Are you asking about all of those terms? Probably not. I have an email from middle management at Dow from years ago that says that their product is latex free. Here's the SDS sheet. So I open the SDS sheet. What does the SDS sheet say? Comprised of 100% natural rubber. But it's latex free. Not possible. All right. Anyways. So there's more and more and more and more and more and more. If you have if you are diagnosed with a latex allergy, which good luck getting a diagnosis, and never get patch testing ever, please, it might kill you. It at least, at a minimum, it will increase your sensitivity. It is not worth your life. Please don't get patch testing, ever. Countries outside the U.S. commonly use patch testing still, as far as I know. Please, please do not get patch testing. Always, this is not medical information or advice. Consult your doctor about everything. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA or any acronym agency and are completely unapproved by any acronym agency. But I have to say this in order to make the acronym agencies happy. Always consult your medical professional about everything. Even though, you know, what happened to me from trusting the experts. Natural rubber latex products are being used less frequently in the healthcare setting. All right. The last time I went to an actual hospital, ER, I sat in the ER room and told the idiot ER doctor a list of the latex in the room because she insisted that they had a latex-free facility because they didn't have latex gloves or balloons there. I asked her if she was wearing underwear or socks. Yeah, she tried to get me to take my mask off and said that it was safe because it was a latex-free facility. And I told her that, well, for one, it's not because of, well, are you wearing underwear or socks? Okay, then it's not a latex-free facility because I can almost 100% guarantee that there's latex in that. But you know, there's all the other chemicals. The most toxic place in the world, just about, besides maybe a chemical dump site, is the ER, is the hospital. So years ago, when I still went to the doctor, I said, I cannot, you know, they don't know what to do with me. It just causes me harm. I'm not going anymore. Is that all right with you? And he said, yeah. Because he agreed with me. If you have a mast cell disorder, they don't know what to do with you. Now, there was one ER doctor that I saw once who was actually up on the research on mast cells. And he was really great. But for the most part, they didn't know what to do with me. Especially, if I had heart symptoms, that was totally confusing to them. If I didn't have hives, which I never have hives, when I have anaphylaxis, I have had anaphylaxis hundreds of times. I have lived in anaphylaxis for months. I have not had hives associated with anaphylaxis ever in my entire life. I have used hundreds of EpiPens due to anaphylaxis. Never had hives. But Pharmacia teaches all of their Pharmacia acolytes that you got to have hives in order to have anaphylaxis. It's called atypical anaphylaxis. It's not that complicated. It's not confusing. Here, I don't know how I found this. But here, this is almost all balloons are made of natural rubber latex. So balloons, you do not want balloons. Even if you and your family, you believe that you don't have any problems with natural rubber latex, which, like I said, you really don't know because there's no test for it. And just because you don't react to this one thing doesn't mean that this other thing that's sitting over here couldn't kill you. And I'm not exaggerating here. You could pick it up and your throat could close on you. And you could go from thinking you don't have a problem to, whoops, guess you did have a problem. All right. So this article discusses some of, nitrosamine formation, which are formed from when the thiram is added during the vulcanization of natural rubber latex. And it's kind of interesting, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm kind of a nerd, but hey, I'm alive because I'm a nerd, so there's that. Excuse me. Dipped products, such as balloons, condoms, and gloves, and rubber bands are a bit different from other products made with natural rubber latex. If you are just now thinking that it might be a problem and you need to do your research, please do your due diligence. I have so much information on the website in regards to latex with authoritative links, okay, and as well as anecdotal information. If you're thinking that it might not be a good idea, if you want to practice the precautionary principle, which is advisable, get rid of latex condoms, get rid of latex gloves, get rid of latex balloons. Start with that. That is my recommendation personally. If you're just now thinking maybe that's not so good, then consider what you're putting in your body, food, pharmaceuticals, etc., and what you're putting on your body, and work your way out. If you have a latex allergy and you just thought that you just couldn't use latex gloves or balloons or gloves or whatever, and you thought that that was it, well, join the club, because I thought that as well. I believed what the medical industry told me. I believed what my doctors told me. I was wrong. I was very wrong. I should not have believed. I was diagnosed with a latex allergy 2000, I want to say 2009 or 2010. That's when I was first diagnosed. I do have latex-free mattresses here. I also have an article on non-toxic mattresses. Your mattress is very important. What you're sleeping on is very important. You really don't want a latex mattress, especially if you have any kind of allergies whatsoever, because you're already sensitized to something. There's a good chance you're going to be sensitized to this because you're probably sensitized to some sort of chemical. And with all of the various chemicals that are put in natural rubber latex, you really don't want to take that risk. I didn't remember that. A town parade with balloons nearly knocked me onto my back and left me gasping for air. I don't remember that. Huh. But yeah, it was So dramatic. Coming home from Mayo Clinic. 2 weeks at Mayo Clinic. And my husband picked up a sprayer for a garden. And brought it into our living room just for the moment. I walked into the living room, and that was the first time I went into anaphylaxis. Before that, I believed what my doctors told me. Avoid latex gloves, avoid latex condoms, put it on your medical chart. You'll be fine. I was not fine. I am not fine today. Okay? I haven't left our property since June of 2019 because everything just compounded on itself. And now I can't even be around a cell phone without my mast cells freaking out. So take that for what it is. Take my warning for what it is. I had to figure this out on my own. This was complete everything that I'm telling you in regards to my experiences here. It's not a shocker to the researchers who were researching these topics in the 90s and 2000s. Some of those researchers died of, shall we say, mysterious circumstances. There's one that was found deleted in behind a store. And the cause of death was that they were deleted. But the police said there was no foul play. So this person was deleted, but there's no foul play. How does that work? Tell me how that works. Explain it to me like I'm 5. Because if someone else deletes someone else, how is there no foul play? Again, this is a very powerful industry. Do your own research. I have provided you with a decent amount of information, in my opinion, both anecdotal and authoritative. On the website, there are countless resources. I have a lot of recommendations for shoes, clothing. I don't think I have anything up about rugs, but rugs are of concern as well. I've got shelf liners. It's important to know about solid wood or engineered wood. Drywall, you generally want to avoid the paper-backed drywall in particular. That's definitely the worst. You've got canning supplies, faucets. What else? Diapers. Okay, this is an important one because there are a lot of toxic diapers out there. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of information up here. Also elastic. You want to avoid elastic. There is latex-free elastic that you can purchase. Why CEOs and owners can't answer your questions. It's just so hard because they don't know. Carpet. No. Vacuums. I need to get an update up on the vacuums. I do have an option for a vacuum. There are natural EpiPen alternatives. Here's my clothing article there. Also, if you click on the shop page and go to the Amazon thingy, I do have recommendations on there. If there are recommendations that you need for latex allergy, in regards to latex allergy, don't comment on a video unless it is on Substack or Patreon because I otherwise will not see your comment. Please go here to the contact us page and contact us there. So if you would like to support this work, then where is that page at? I have a page for that. Well, where's it at? I'm not going to find it. Maybe I have to click on a post first. I have a support us page, which if this is anywhere off of the website, the support us page will be linked to below. Where is it at? I thought I had it down here at the bottom. I guess I don't. I thought I had the support us down at the bottom. I'm gonna have to fix that. Thought for sure I had it down there. I don't anymore. Well, was it my fault? No, here it is. It was way down at the bottom. You couldn't even see it with how I have things set up on my computer right now. Yeah, so we've got Substack and Patreon, which are monthly. And if you subscribe for a year on Substack or Patreon, there is a discount, I believe, still up. $5 a month, which I don't actually get that amount. We could also PayPal. And we also have Zelle, which I don't have up here, but our email, which is on the contact page, that is our Zelle email. Zelle doesn't have fees for us. And then if you click on any of these or use any of these discount codes, then we do get a, I would not go here anymore. I need to take that off there. But if you click on any of these here, we do get a little bit of a percentage. Foods Alive, I love them, but nobody orders from them when I recommend them. But they are latex safe. I do personally order from them, like I said. But you have the cash out for the affiliate is like $100, and I'll never hit that. So I share from them mostly so that I can get a little bit free now and then, but also I just want you guys to know about their stuff because they are good. Also, Shiloh Farms is another good option if you are super sensitive to chemicals and latex as well. That's all for now, guys. Thank you for sharing, and hang in there. Again, if you have any questions about latex stuff, I know I need to get back on working on that. It doesn't matter whether you are a supporter or not. Tell me what you need to know about latex, and I will work on that. So many blessings. Have a most beautiful and blessed day. Non-toxic out.